Well, actually, I had finished. We had just finished the Every 6 Seconds record, and we had flown back to Memphis, and I was back at my mom's house, back in my old bedroom, and I was just watching TV one night, and I think I was watching an episode of CSI.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing the interrogation scene where they're interrogating this guy, and he's sweating and he's under the lights and everything, and he was suspected of trying to like blow up a part of the city or a sports field or something like that, and they were sweating him, and he finally snapped, and he goes, the next sound you hear is going to be tick, tick, boom. And that just hit my soul in some kind of way. And I was like, man, and I was sitting there writing with, at my desk or whatever, kind of piddling around on the guitar. And I had my notebook out, and I was just jotting down some ideas, and I was clicking my pen like this. And I was like, click, click, boom. And then I was like, okay, click, click, boom. And also that night, to give you a little bit of backstory, my mom, I've always had trouble sleeping since I was a little kid. I've been an insomniac. And my mom had given me an Ambien that night. I'd never heard of Ambien, wasn't one to, back then wasn't one to take. I was always scared of medicine, and, was scared I was going to die if I took thing. And so I took that medicine. Of course, it didn't make me sleep, but it definitely made me write. So, so I sat and I started to jot down, click, click, boom. And then I came up with the dun, 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 coming down on the stereo. No, I was like, oh, that's dope. So I started, sort of to sketch it out. And I had the chorus, which is about how I write. Probably 90% of my songs is I start with the hook. Like I learned from watching 3 6 Mafia back in Memphis. I learned set that hook, man, almost like a fisherman, and the rest will come. You know what I'm saying? The rest will sort of be downloaded by the universe. And that's exactly how it happened, man. I came up with the hook, and I thought it was pretty good, and started jotting down the layout of the song, and I started sort of plucking it around and drop D on the little acoustic guitar that I had given to me by an ex-girlfriend or something. And so I called Julie Greenwald, the vice president of Island Def Jam, and I was like, hey, I know we're done with the record. I said, but I have this idea, and I think it's pretty cool, and I heard Joe Elliott at the end of the Hysteria record came in and said, hey, I got this idea. And he showed it to him, and it was Pour Some Sugar on Me. So, I don't want to not show you this. So I sort of, and I had one of those big old red brick phones back then, man, back in 2000. So she goes, well, sing it, sing it for me. So I was like, all right, okay. So I held the phone with my left hand and played drums with my fingers with my right hand and sang it into the to the phone. And she was like, okay, Josey, pack a bag. You're coming to Los Angeles. And the next thing I was back in LA, back at Bob Marlette's, tracking Click, Click, Boom.